It's that time of the year again, and we have to talk about the phones that we've come across in the year 2022. Just like last year, we're going to be considering the phones that we have reviewed this year, and that is going to be 39 phones in total. I want to directly jump into it, so let's just begin. This is a rather interesting year because the first 6 months of the year we have reviewed 25 phones in total. And that was during the time where people started to slow down on smartphone purchases as the pandemic started to wind down, and that immediately affected the number of smartphones launched in the second half of the year. And that is why between July to this day we have only reviewed 14 phones in total. With that said, we still reviewed a total of 39 phones, which is 3 more phones compared to the year 2021. I've also compiled a huge list of the phones that we have reviewed this year, so you can see it in the screen here or down in the description below. And here's a pie chart showing that out of those 39 phones reviewed, the biggest majority of them are from Samsung, and the second comes Xiaomi if we include the Redmi phones together. But if you look at Redmi phones alone though, then yeah, all of those phones are actually within the Redmi Note 11 series, and they were launched very close to each other. And also I have no idea why that they decided to split into so many different sub-variants, and all of them are very similar to each other. Surprisingly though, this year we also reviewed a lot of Oppo devices. We also have the usual gaming phones, but this year is particularly interesting because there is a separation between the ROG Phone 6 and the ROG Phone 6D series, which we will also get into later. And out of 39 phones, there are a few of them that stood out to me the most, so I just want to quickly highlight them. Starting off with the Galaxy S22 Ultra. It is Samsung's first year that they are combining the Galaxy S and the Note series together. And yeah, because of this new integration, we have the S Ultra variant that looks completely different. It comes with an S Pen, and a lot of people love this phone, me included, because I used this phone for 7 months actually. After that, the Galaxy S22. It is one of the rare compact flagship smartphones, so I just want to highlight that. Then comes the Oppo Reno 7. I actually like this phone, but the price of it is just way too high for what it has to offer. And then we skip forward to the Redmi Note 11 Pro Plus 5G. This is actually the highest end Redmi smartphone that is available in Malaysia, or at least that we have reviewed. And it is a great smartphone that offers fantastic smartphone experience. However, the launch price of 1,499 is just a bit more expensive for my taste. And then the Galaxy A33 came by. This is what I call a quote-unquote hidden gem, because at its price of 1,499 ringgit, you get the same 4 years of Android upgrades with 5 years of security patches like its flagship counterparts, yet you also get OIS. The chipset may be a point of contention because it comes with an Exynos 1280 chipset, but I think it is fine for day-to-day use. And immediately after that, we have the Oppo Find X5 Pro. As a flagship, it ticks all of the right boxes, including the price tag. ColorOS is okay, but the amount of bloatware is just way too much. And then comes Infinix Note 12 G96. They rarely send out smartphones for review, but yeah, their devices just offer fantastic value for money. I still use this phone to this day, but as a teleprompter smartphone, and I realized that Infinix never pushed any software updates since it launched. So yeah, those are the things that only came by to realization when we actually use the phone for long term. And then comes the gaming phone season. We have the Black Shark 5, which is literally the Black Shark 4, but with some updates and also the inclusion of a pressure sensitive screen, making it a fantastic gaming smartphone actually, better than the Black Shark 5 Pro, which we also tested immediately after that. And I just think that the Black Shark 5 Pro is a bit too expensive for what it has to offer. And that price is even higher than the ROG Phone 6's starting price. And after that, we have to take a look at the Galaxy A23, which is the cheapest smartphone throughout this entire list that still has an OIS, which I think sets a very good precedent on what a proper mid-range smartphone camera should have. And immediately after the Black Shark 5 series, we have the ROG Phone 6 Pro. This is the first smartphone that is using the Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 chipset, and it performed fantastically. The gaming experience was great and it never overheats, works with a bunch of different accessories, which are optional of course. But ultimately, there is no reason for you to buy the Pro variant because the only benefit that you get is that little screen over there. Then comes the ZTE Blade V40 Vita, and I do like this phone because of its price. As an entry-level smartphone, you can't go wrong with this. The OnePlus Nord 2T 5G comes next, and it is the second OnePlus smartphone that I've used, the first one being the OnePlus One. And I actually like this Nord 2T quite a lot, and OnePlus got a lot of things right. And then comes the Oppo Reno 8 Pro, and as a summary, I think that it's just a fantastic phone, but the price is just way too high. After that, we also have another OnePlus smartphone, and this time is the OnePlus 10T, and it ticks all of the right boxes, and it is a fantastic smartphone. I just feel that it could be a little bit more generic, especially since they removed the alert slider on this phone in particular. Then the foldable smartphone season came by, the Galaxy Z Flip 4 and the Galaxy Z Fold 4 were launched. Both of these phones are pretty much last year's Z Flip 3 and Z Flip 4, but with a lot of fine-tuning and software optimization to provide a better user experience. With that extra year of warranty that we're getting, Samsung managed to sweeten up the deal for everyone here in Malaysia as well. And then came the Oppo A77s. I actually like this phone despite its 720p screen because it just offers good value for money. After that, we have the Xiaomi 12T series. Both the 12T and the 12T Pro has OIS, which is actually good because I complained about its removal on the 11T series. And yeah, they also got a big price hike, which I'm really not a fan of. And finally, the ROG Phone 6D. This phone came late to the market, and you can watch our full review at the top right corner there. In short, this phone lets us compare the differences between the flagship Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 chipset with MediaTek's Dimensity 9000 Plus chipset with no other variables in play. And yeah, both of these phones were made by TSMC's 4nm process, and yet the MediaTek's chipset is just hotter and poorer in performance even with the Adaptive Cooler 6 installed, and that just proves that your chipset architecture design plays a big role in terms of creating a proper chipset. So, award time. For the best entry-level smartphone, I have to give it to the ZTE Blade V40 Vita because it is just a fantastic smartphone for its price, and you can actually get it at a lower price than the recommended retail price of 629 ringgit right now. And an honorable mention goes to the Infinix Note 12 G96 because it is also another fantastic phone for its price. But obviously you do get a lot more than the ZTE, so yeah, it scales with your budget. And as for the best phone under 999 ringgit, this is actually a difficult choice. We have the Oppo A77s, the Samsung Galaxy A23, and I think I will have to give that award to Samsung because Samsung has a proper 1080p screen. For the next category, it is for the phones under 1,500 ringgit Malaysia, and we do have a few contenders. But I will have to ultimately choose the Redmi Note 11 Pro Plus 5G for its excellent performance and hardware. But like the usual Xiaomi/Redmi/Poco phones, the software is always divisive. It depends on whether or not you can or cannot tolerate MIUI, and that's it. Now for the phones under 2,000 ringgit, they aren't much in this category, but once again I will have to give it to Xiaomi 12T because that phone offers a proper set of hardware, especially with the return of a proper OIS system and the Dimensity 8100 chipset. Yeah, it just makes this phone stand out from the rest. And we'll also quickly give both the Galaxy Z Fold 4 and the Galaxy Z Flip 4 for the Best Foldable award because there's literally no competition available in the market right now. Don't add me with all of the Huawei foldables because there is no GMS on those devices, and a lot of users alongside with app developers still rely on GMS, so no Huawei for me. As for the best gaming phone of the year, I'll have to give it to the ROG Phone 6. Even though that we are showing the Pro variant, I will never recommend anyone to buy it. The base version is good enough and you'll get the same hardware, same motherboard design, same cooling system, same battery capacity, same fast charging, and also the same screen. But the Pro version is just for bragging rights because it comes with a fancy screen and also 18 gigs or 16 gigs of RAM, I forgot, and you probably won't even use 50% of that RAM, so just don't. However, in our ROG Phone 6D review, we also proven the point that even though both the MediaTek Dimensity 9000 Plus and the Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 chipset were both made by TSMC's 4nm process, The chipset architecture optimization is crucial. Watch our video at the top right corner there for our in-depth comparison between these two phones and their chipsets. As for the best phone of the year, I will have to give it to the S22 Ultra because it is a fantastic phone and the screen is very color accurate, vivid, yet the brightness can easily go up to 700 nits of brightness maximum. The overall design is marvelous and it also comes with an S Pen now since it is literally supposed to be a Galaxy Note smartphone. The software updates on this phone is pushed way too quickly to the point that it is the first device that I know that got Android 13 and all the security patches that came along with it. Well, how about software then? Well, I'll give it to Samsung's One UI, but specifically for the Galaxy Z Fold series version. Yes, I said series because all of the Galaxy Z Fold phones, including the original Galaxy Fold, got the new One UI update with the taskbar as well. One more personal award that I want to give out is that which phone houses my personal SIM card inside? Well, that phone goes to the Galaxy Z Fold 4 actually. And I have always liked the idea of being to unfold to a larger screen, and especially since Android 12L and subsequently Android 13 updates, with the new taskbar, it just made multitasking much more efficient and I just enjoy using the phone a lot more. Even the battery life is a lot better thanks to the Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 chipset. However, this phone is not perfect since there are still some third-party software compatibility issues, and even YouTube is not giving me the option to post YouTube Shorts, and Lazada is not scaling properly when I unfold the device, which is just very annoying. It is sad to see such issues since the Galaxy Fold series has been around for so many years, and yet these issues were highlighted by many people before, and yet it is still not fixed. So as a recap of the year 2022, I think everything has risen in price and the smartphone launches have also slowed down, especially during the second half of the year. The argument of buying a 4G smartphone instead of a 5G smartphone is kinda invalid now since all phones, well, most of the phones have moved to 5G only, even though 5G is still inaccessible for many people. So looking forward to 2023, what would I personally like to see? Well, first of all, no more 2-megapixel macro cameras. They should not exist anymore, and at least give us an auto-focusing macro lens. That would be such a huge boon over the current situation that we have here. Then the question regarding how much RAM a phone has. Seriously, if you have 8 gigs of RAM or more, then you're good to go. Don't worry, you can watch our video at the top right corner there, where we talk about why too much RAM is wasteful, and yeah, that is a video that I think a lot of people need to watch. And that is the end of the year 2022. This was a fantastic year and we also learned a lot, and we also hope to provide you with even more informative videos in the future so that you can get the information you need before making your purchase. And also thanks for your support by subscribing, liking, commenting, and also sharing our videos to your friends. That means a lot to us, and I hope to grow our community even further in the near future. So that's it for this year. We'll see you guys in the next year. Technically, we will still have some videos before the end of the year, but you know how this goes. Goodbye.